Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new week. My name is Abigail Mensah-Bonsu. I am an intuitive quantum goddess coach, a multidimensional healer, and a divine feminine goddess activator. And this is your weekly goddess energy forecast. Welcome. So before I go into the cards, I wanted to just talk a little bit about what kind of energy we're swimming in this week, what has been coming up, and how you can work with the energy of this week. So we just celebrated, we just celebrated the full moon slash eclipse in the sign of Cancer. Now, oh man, Cancer, or I should say water signs in general. This full moon was so potent in regards to clearing, making space in our emotional body. So Cancer is all about the emotions. Well, Cancer lives in the emotional realm. It is a water sign. Cancer is about home. It's about family. It's about comfort. It's about security, right? So don't be surprised that the challenges that are coming up or the things that are coming up for you to face are all in that area right there. But that is also where we're being pulled to focus on. And I think it's beautiful. And I talked about this in my Moon Goddess Sacred Circle, that we just literally walked out of the holiday season where it was all about the family and celebration and joy, good food. And then, but something happens when we enter January. We go from the celebration, the excitement, the warmth, that holiday season feeling, and then we enter January and it just disappears, and we go into seriousness, and then not just that, but also this energy of I got to do this and I got to do that, and then go, right? How many of you are feeling that? Now, if you're feeling that, you're probably feeling also like this fighting back, like you want to move forward, you really want to move forward, you want to do the go, but something is holding you back and you're kind of like fighting against it, right? Going the push and pull, right? You're experiencing that because it's not time yet. January we're still in the winter time. We're still in the energy of winter, where we're supposed to go in, reflect, meditate, plan, restore, rejuvenate, right? Take care of ourselves. And then come spring, then we can literally spring forward, right? And so January comes and society has really trained us to think that you need to get back to work. The fun is over, get back to work. And this has been so ingrained in so many people that that's exactly what happens every single year. So this Cancer full moon is really highlighting. I love that we started the year in this energy because we're being taken aback, especially with the eclipse, really helping us to step back and to kind of be like, whoa, just slow your horse. It's not time yet. Bring it back to family, bring it back to loved ones, bring it back to family, bring it back to the warmth and the connection, because that's the energy you're still in. Bring it back to the reflection time, the meditative time. Bring it back to yourself. Now, how many of you are Cancers? How many of you are water signs? If you're a water sign, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, any of these signs, you're probably feeling this the most. If you have any of these signs somewhere in your chart, you're going to be feeling this full moon eclipse energy the most, the impact. I don't have any water sign in my chart. I think I have, I think I have maybe one or yeah, it looks like one or two. Scorpio probably pops in somewhere. But I am a predominantly earth sign, actually predominantly fire. But my sun and my ascendant sign are all earth signs. So I have a Virgo sun and a rising in Capricorn. So I'm pretty solid, but I am even being an earth sign, like this has been pretty intense. Some of the things that came up, and this was even before the full moon came. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that the full moon or new moon energy, any lunar, then you can feel it like a week ahead, and you can feel it all the way to a week after, depending on how sensitive you are with your gifts, with your intuitive self, right? But one thing that came up was the anxiety. A week before, I was like, oh my gosh, where is this coming from? Where is this anxiety coming from? Like it came out of nowhere and it hit me like a ton of bricks. It was like, oh my gosh, lucky for me. I started this year with an amazing session with a colleague of mine, Anita. She does mindset, like money mindset tapping stuff. And we did a whole session, and as we did that session, it really helped me tap into that emotional level, and we began to release. And so when the anxiety popped up, first thing that came up was like, oh, okay, it's coming up to be released. But the beauty of it is that I now have a tool that a tool that actually works beautifully with the emotional body to help it release. And so I continued to tap in. I would tap, every day or every other day or in the shower. I would just use the tap in. Every time I felt that anxiety coming, I would start tapping, and I would just kind of go with it and just see where it takes me. And that has been remarkable. That has been remarkable. So if you have been going through, if you've been feeling certain emotions come up, there's a lot of people who are feeling the anxiety portion of it. The anxiety comes in with the whole push and pull with the season kind of thing. Like January, I need to go. No, you don't need to, or feeling like you're missing out somehow. Remember, we're just in January. This is just the first month in the year. Slow down. Slow down. Just take a breath. Take a breath. So there's like, this is what I've encountered. Either there are people who are, in a hurry to get back to work, as in like the mundane work, or they're the people who also have the spiritual side, who feel like they need to have their word, the intentions written down, their vision boards done. It's like, whoa, 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 slow down. You have so much time. In my, with my circle, with the women that I work with, we don't even start intentions till probably like the end of January going into February, because that's when the energies have really kind of settled down, and you can truly gain clarity and see what it is you would like to create for the year. My vision board workshop is not going to happen until February. Again, the reason is that the energy has settled down. There's much clarity. You have settled down, and you can see things clearly. You can get the intuitive hits without the chaos of all the energies that is going on with the shift and the transition between the old year and the new year. January really is the time to just kind of, you like, especially after partying that hard and, holiday season, you take that time to come back to yourself. January should be a month of coming back to self, a month of taking care of yourself, rejuvenating, restoration. That's what January should really be about. We should not even be worried about goals and intentions and what we want to create this year till probably February or March. And so if you are one of those people who haven't started your goal, you haven't written anything down, you're like, oh my gosh, calm down. Just take it easy. You're right on schedule, but stop stressing. Stop stressing about the whole, oh my gosh, everybody's done it. Am I already behind and the year just started? No, stop that. You're actually in sync with the season. When it's time, you will know. When it's time for you, you will know, because it will just start flowing in. And that's what usually happens to me. I'll be taking a shower. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to experience this. I'll be watching a movie. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to create a year of this. Or my word will flow in. My word tends to come in actually way ahead of time, like before the new year even begins. That's like the first thing that comes up. And it kind of sets the tone for everything. But in terms of like the steps that I need to take, they don't come until later. And I'm okay with that. I can marinate in that word, I can marinate in the theme of what the new year is going to be for me. And then let the rest come in. So if you've been feeling the anxiety, and going back to the Cancer and water and the emotions, what will be coming up has to do with your emotional body. But here's the thing, as the emotions come up, the point is not for you to grab onto it and just, try to eat it or try to dissect it or whatever, like try to hold on to it. The point is for you to just acknowledge it and release it. And a great question to ask yourself is this emotion for my highest good? Is it benefiting me in creating that which I want to create? If it is a yes, does it need to be healed? Does it need to be released? If it is a no, you just let it go. Call in your guide to, like, this emotion is coming up. It doesn't feel like it's right. Here's the cool part is that if it is coming up, there's two things, or at least that's what I've noticed. It's coming up because you haven't allowed yourself to really feel into it, or it's coming up because it needs to go. So the feel into it part is for those people who kind of put the emotions in boxes and store it. Here's the thing, there's jewel in those emotions. If you only allow yourself to feel it, feel into it, feel into it. This is for those of you who put your emotions in boxes, who tend to not want to even face your emotions. Now, if you're someone who you allow your emotions to come up, then simply acknowledge it. What is this emotion about? Is it for my highest good? Yes, no. If it is yes, does it need to be healed? All right, let's heal it. Where is it? What message does it have for me? Oh, I love that. What message does this emotion have for me? Right? And when it comes to the emotional body, tools, know your tools that can help you. And I mentioned the tapping. Tapping is perfect for working with the emotional body and releasing, making space in the emotional body. What tools work for you when it comes to the emotional body? Do you need to go for a walk? Do you need to go for running? Do you want to go do kickboxing? The point is to allow the emotions to move. When you're tapping, you're working with the emotional body, you're working with the energetics of it, and you're moving energy with the tapping, right? Because each place that you tap, all of these areas, if you know anything about acupuncture, like they're all energy centers within us. And as you tap these areas, right, you're moving energy, you're shifting things, right? You're moving energy, you're shifting things. It's powerful, simple and powerful. So find a tool. If you already do tapping, great. Use that this time with the emotions that come up. If you're someone who's curious about it, if you go on YouTube, there's so many videos to get you started. But to be honest, working with someone who specializes in this is so much better. I started off doing the YouTube stuff and I didn't really get it until I worked with Anita. And that kind of just opened everything. I didn't even know that tapping could open like a whole level of your gifts and your purpose, right? It does. It's incredible. So let's go back to the Cancer and water signs especially. So my husband is a double Cancer, and I'm glad that his moon, which is right in the center, is in Virgo. So it really holds things together. It's like the land. The way I see water signs is that water needs a container in order to shape it. And so water and earth, in terms of compatibility, water and earth go together beautifully because earth creates a container for water. Earth doesn't try to, control water, because you can't control water. Heck, water makes its way wherever it will find its way out. But earth rather creates a sacred container for water to be expressed. Now, why am I talking about this? And we talked about this in my Moon Goddess Circle, the correlation between earth and water. If we're bringing it into this physical form, I want you to look at earth, represent what earth represents in our daily lives is our home. One of the girls in my Moon Goddess Circle said, if your home is a mess, most likely it is also reflecting in that emotional body, and vice versa. If your emotional body is chaotic and just outbursting, like all of that, look at your home. There's a correlation there. The water needs that container. So this brings me to my question. Does your emotions have a safe home to express itself freely? Water needs to be free. Water doesn't need boxes. So does your emotions have a sacred space for it to experience or for it to express freely? I want you to check in with yourself real quick. The home of your emotional body is this physical body. The physical home of your emotions is your physical structured home. If you find that your emotions are chaotic, not grounded, not balanced, kind of like everywhere, check in with your physical environment. Kind of tidy things up a little bit. Move some stuff out of the way. Make space, and you will notice a shift in your emotional body as well. This is potent. So, yeah, okay. So I think that's it. All right, so that's just a little bit I wanted to talk about the energy of this week and just working with that water energy, the Cancer energy, and then the moon energy, which is all water. Like we are deep in the water here. When the moon falls into Cancer, they're home. Cancer is home, and it's all water, which means that we are very much deep in our emotional body. And it's a good thing, because when we don't get times like this to check in with our emotional bodies, we tend to try to shove it somewhere, close it, and kind of like, I'm not going to deal with you right now, I'll deal with you another time. But our emotional body is so important in our growth, in our expansion, in our manifestation, in us creating the life that we want to create. You cannot do that without your emotions. Your emotions play a huge key in your experience as a human being on this planet. So, all right. Work with your emotions this week. Any emotions that come up, evaluate it, okay? Is it for your highest good? Do you have a sacred space, a sacred home for your emotions to feel safe to be expressed freely? Allow your emotions to simply come up and be released. Find tools that can help you to move those energetic emotions. Tapping is a great way to do that. Physically moving your body is a great way to move that. And heal. Water brings in healing. Your emotions tend to point you to where there is still a wound or trauma that needs to be healed. Working with Archangel Raphael this week is going to be huge when it comes to healing. Call him in, him or her, because, when it comes to the angels or the divinities, it doesn't matter. Call on Archangel Raphael to come in and help you heal that which needs to be healed with ease and grace. All right, my love, let's go ahead and go right into our cards for the week, the goddess messages for the week. So if you haven't yet, place your hands on your heart and just check in with yourself real quick. Where do I need to focus my energy this week? 1, 2, or 3. Choose. Once you get your number or numbers, receive your message. Let's begin. All right. So the first goddess, let's see here. There we go. So the first goddess that comes in, if you chose card number 1, or if number 1, oh my gosh, yeah, okay. If card number 1 chose you, you are being asked to focus on truth. So the goddess that you're going to be working with for this week is Ma'at, or I think some people say Mat, an Egyptian goddess, Ma'at, and she brings in the wisdom of the truth. Here is your message. Oh, I love this card. It's so powerful. Gives me chills. So here's the message if you're drawn to card number 1. Your goddess again for this week, the goddess that you're working with, is Ma'at, and she brings in truth. There is great power in telling the truth and allowing it to lead you to higher ground. It's only when we refuse to see the reality of a situation that we lose our power to co-create for the highest good. The Egyptian goddess Ma'at comes to remind you that if you are willing to do a fearless self-inventory and live authentically with rigorous honesty, it will lead you to great success in all areas of your life. Being completely transparent with others, although it might at first feel too vulnerable, is exactly what you need to do. And when you do this, you will be flooded with the power to claim and experience a new freedom and a new happiness that will pour over your life like a wild, sweet honey. Your life is exactly where it needs to be. This is a wonderful time of empowered choice making. You are doing all the right things if you follow the invitation of Ma'at to live fearlessly in truth. To live fearlessly in truth. As the arbiter of balance and divine order, she reminds you of the great value of this way of being. So if you're drawn to card number 1, the goddess that you're working with for this week is Ma'at, and your message is to live fearlessly in truth. Beautiful. Thank you, Goddess Ma'at. If you're drawn to card number 2, the goddess that you're working with is Goddess Leidza. And she brings in the wisdom of revelation. Here's your message. There are moments when synchronicity brings all the elements together for a flash of insight to rise up in you in a glorious epiphany. Whatever was not clear becomes crystalline in an instant. It's as if you are able to simultaneously perceive every facet in a diamond. You know without a doubt that you are on the right track as deep understanding sinks into your very soul. In this moment, change and transformation takes place, and a transcendent moment is offered to you as an extraordinary gift. Now is one of those times. The Chinese goddess Leitza, mother of lightning, brings revelation into your life with a flash. She gifts you with this as a result of all the hard work you have put in to dismantling your old self and making space for who you want to become. This is an auspicious time. So if you're drawn to card number 2, you're working with Goddess Leitza, and she's gifting you with revelations like lightning into your life. And this week it's important to contemplate on who you want to become and what part of your old self is still hanging on. If you still feel like there's a part of your whole old self that you still haven't had the courage to release, then work with Goddess Leitza and ask her to use her lightning power to help you shed it with ease and grace so that you can truly step into the new of who you are becoming. Beautiful. If you're called to card number 3, your goddess is Goddess Iris, and she brings in the wisdom of communication. And here is her message if you're called to card number 3. You are facing a moment when communication between you and others may have become disconnected. Perhaps people are withholding information from you, or you are not being clear about they're not being clear about their motives. Now's the time to ask for clarity and to get clear yourself. If you're sitting on the fence and are ambivalent about your direction, say that. Your alignment task is to say no to playing games, no to coercion, no to manipulation, and no to covert intentions. Take a straightforward attitude. Don't be afraid to hear what might disappoint you. Be clear and demand the same from others. The messenger goddess Iris knows the importance of clear communication, and she urges you to speak up for yourself. If you've come from an environment, family, or cultural history where you have not had a voice, this might feel like you're yelling, but that's all right. Times are changing. And now is not the time to be shy. It's okay to feel awkward or flustered, but the goddess Iris brings her powers of clarity and says, it's your turn to be heard. So gather your courage. The people who are important to you in the long run will listen and witness you. And then you can engage in positive conversation that leads to heartfelt solutions. Even if your voice feels untrue and comes from a victim mentality, you must still speak what is inside you in order for you to heal or change it, or to find a way to the real truth. Let yourself be heard, and the great goddess will send strong teachers and wonderful allies for you. So if this is your card for this week, you're working with Goddess Iris, and she will be bringing to your life clarity this week, okay? And she's asking you, she's saying that you should ask for clarity and to also get clear with yourself. And she's asking you to also gather your courage to speak your truth, to speak what is in your heart. So I'm getting like an activation in the throat chakra and the heart chakra for you this week. Once you start speaking, if you're afraid to speak it, know this. Once you start speaking, it might feel rough, right? Not everybody might receive it. But here's the truth. When you continue to, you begin to attract people who will actually align with your truth. You begin to attract people who understand you, who really know where you're coming from, because you're speaking from a place that is true to you. And yes, this feels vulnerable. This feels scary. But this is where Goddess Iris comes in. Ask for her help. Ask your divine team to give you the courage, your higher self. Don't forget to bring in your higher self. Ask your higher self to give you the courage to speak your truth, to speak from a place of authenticity, to speak from a place of your heart. Ask your divine team to activate your throat and your heart chakras with ease and grace. And just take it one step at a time. One step at a time. And it gets easier. Beautiful. All right, my loves. Go ahead and place your hands on your heart. Taking a couple of deep breaths in here. Getting centered in yourself. See, sense or feel this beautiful pillar of light coming down from above, entering through the crown of your head, through your heart, all the way down, entering into the heart and into the earth, and anchoring into the heart of Mama Earth. Taking a deep breath in here as this pillar of light expands all around you. And at the same time, see a beautiful golden ball of light also descending down and just kind of like encompassing all around you. Feel the warmth, feel the security, feel the protection, feel the support from this angelic golden ball of light. And at this time, bring your awareness to your heart space. Breathe into your heart space. And there, see, sense, or feel this beautiful altar. And on the altar, you see these 3 flames dancing. I want you to take notice here. Do you have flames on your altar? Are they small? Are they big? Are they overwhelming? What is the status of your 3 sacred flames? Beautiful. And now see this lightning, light coming from above. And it kind of just comes into the altar and it sparks it up. And if you don't have any flame, if you don't have the threefold flame in your heart, it sparks it. So now you can see all 3 flames. Take notice of the colors they are. If you have a bigger flame that's kind of like overwhelming, all of a sudden it comes back into balance and it aligns with your higher heart. At this time, we're aligning your physical heart with your spiritual heart. We're aligning this heart with your higher heart, which will balance your emotions. We're asking the divine team, our higher selves, to come in and help us to make space in our emotional body, to clear anything that is heavy, that keeps holding us back, that does not benefit us anymore, that is not for our highest good anymore, anything that we're ready to release. Let's ask our higher self and our divine team to help us to release it with grace and ease. We're asking for healing of the old wounds and old trauma that we might have endured, whether this lifetime or past lifetimes. We're asking for healing. Calling in Archangel Raphael to come in and just pour his emerald green waters, filling every part of our bodies, the physical body, the mental body, especially the emotional body, and the spiritual body, on all levels of our beings, in all dimensions and realities. Taking a deep breath in and out. See, sense, or feel your higher self walking in front of you with a cup or a chalice filled with this emerald green waters. And he or she hands this cup to you and tells you to drink it. Go ahead and drink this healing waters, divine healing water, and feel it. Feel it flow through every area of your being, going into any area that needs this. Going into all your organs, all your cells, all the way to your DNA. Healing and restructuring what needs to be healed and restructured. And as these parts of us heal and restructure, you see it begin to glow in this beautiful emerald, pink, white light. Keep breathing and out. Allow these glorious divine water to do its work. Release, release, release. Heal, heal, heal. Release, release, release. Heal, heal, heal. Now place your hand on your heart and say, I am here now. I am here now. I choose to be here now. I choose and accept all parts of me, especially my emotional body. I choose and accept all parts of me, especially my emotional body. I am clear of all the heavy feelings, heavy emotions, all the trauma. I clear it all now. Taking a deep breath in and out. Thank you, guides, guardians, higher self. Thank you, divine creator, divine mother. Thank you for this healing. Thank you for this light. May it shine, may it shine, may it shine. So be it and so it is. Beautiful. Welcome back. Thank you so much for receiving these messages for this week. May you have a blessed week. And if you have any questions, go ahead and join. If you haven't yet, join my Facebook group, The Moon Goddess Sacred Sanctum, and share your experiences or share any questions that might have come up. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for receiving this. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and also the bells to make sure that you receive a message every time I post a video on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a fabulous week.